So as usual, excited to get going. Great weather. Good Lord loves the Eagles. And it was awesome to be out at Pete Taylor Park last night and get us started with a 1-0 start in baseball. Coach Barry and those guys, always fun to watch them. Got a big win in women's basketball last night with Coach McNellis. That was huge. And, for us, getting started today is big for the next step in this program. When you're playing football with no pads on, you can convince yourself of anything. Some of it might be true, some of it might not be, but it's good to get out here and implement our language with so many newcomers. We're light years ahead of where we were this time last year, obviously, with almost everybody back. I think I read somewhere we're 7th in the country in the most production back. We've added a lot of talent. We just got more players. We got more players going through spring ball than we had in the fall, which should never happen, So we continue to get the overall health of this roster better, and can't say enough about what the staff's done. And we're off and running, man. We got one down. We got 14 more to go.
You got so many new faces on this team. What's some of the top priorities of just this first couple weeks of practice?
Hey, Andrew, I think for us it's just continuing to improve everywhere. We're in a unique position. We've got some positions we got a lot of returners, some positions where we don't. But overall, we got to be better, right? We're not at a point where we just went 3-9. This is Southern Miss. You know what I mean? We inherited a situation where we've got to build a program. We laid the foundation last year. We've got to be better overall in the whole facets. We got a lot of good punt work today in special teams. And, obviously we got to improve on the O-line. We've added some influx of transfers there. We added a great football coach at Sam Gregg. We got to be better at quarterback. And we got to continue to grow at positions where we have returners, like at DB, at wideout, at linebacker. We got a lot of people back, but the competition is still going to be way better, because just because you started last year doesn't mean a whole lot. You started on a 3-9 football team. That's not good enough. You know what I'm saying? So we've got to be better individually, which causes us to be better collectively.
Can you talk about the quarterback room? Trey Lowe back?
Yeah, so, Trey's back from injury, Ty's back from injury. Ty's taking the first reps right now. It's his job to lose with how he played last year. And then Zach Wilkie was held out today. He's early enrollee, was held out today due to contact tracing. But he'll be back on Monday, and he's had a phenomenal offseason. He's just tore it up in the offseason program. Coach Ann Carr will tell you, been one of the highlights. So those are the three that are competing for the job. And all three of them were highly recruited kids that are really talented. They're young. We're excited to continue working with them.
Coach, could you talk a little bit about how you move guys around on the offensive line as y'all look for your too deep there?
Oh, man, Glenn, I don't even know what it is right now. We got a lot of guys that are playing. Everybody's back except for Khalik Washington and Foxy. And then we brought in Bryce Ramsey, we brought in Calvin McMillan, and we brought in Will Saxton. So we added 3 really talented young men to that room and a new O-line coach. There's some familiarity with the system, but there's a lot of newness with how we do things. And we're just rocking and rolling. I don't really know the two. Yeah, there ain't no too deep right now. We're trying to get better. Yeah.
But you're just going to start Doss out back at tackle.
We are trying to get Tykeem's lost a lot of weight.
Yeah,
him and Coach Gregg have a really close relationship through recruiting. Coach Gregg recruited him while he was at Liberty, and they're close, and they both believe he can be a great tackle. He's lost weight and taken some steps that he needs to do that. Tykeem's as talented as they come. It's all about how bad does he want it, and he's taking some steps in the right direction this offseason.
I want to ask you about Ty, because obviously Ty Keys, because he missed a lot of time on the field last year, but I wonder how he may have utilized that time to get better, maybe watching film.
Yeah, you know me, Taylor. I'm more of a glass half full guy. I look at it as he was a freshman. He got to play 4 games. So he gained 4 games instead of being a redshirt freshman coming into spring and not having any experience. He's got 4 games of experience. One of them being Alabama on the road, where he showed he belonged. Played really well against Grambling, played against Troy in tough conditions, and you can see the maturity with him, how much more comfortable he is. You can see his confidence. He's a young man that's won everywhere he's been. He's really talented, and he's got a bright future. And, Zach does too. Zach's the same way. Zach's won in every sport he's ever been in, and he's got a bright future. So we're we're talented in that run. We got to continue to improve every day.
Coach, why the early start this week?
Yeah, I always like to do it early. Number one, if we have an injury, we can get them back. Last year, Hayes Maples tore his ACL in spring ball and didn't miss a rep of the fall season. So that's number one for the health and well-being of our kids. Number two, when you've got a lot of newcomers, you go ahead and have spring, teach them your language. then the rest of the semester they know what you're talking about. You can speak the same language, if you will. Those are the two main reasons, and the third one, and probably the biggest one, that's just what I like to do. You know what I mean? And I get to pick that. So, yeah.
Where are you guys at, just health-wise in general?
We're good. You know, we got a few guys out. Dominic Quiwan's out with an elbow injury. Chandler Pittman's coming off ACL. He's not here. I hate to single out everybody that wasn't out. Y'all see anybody else running around?
Clemens.
Clemens is dealing with a little injury in the weight room. He's healthy. He'll be back with pads on. But overall, I mean, Coker Wright is out with a back injury, you know, that he missed the last 3 games for this year. But all those guys should be back and ready to roll and cleared come summer.
I think we're going to talk to Santrell here in a second.
Okay.
Bringing him back. You know, he's played a lot of football here.
Yep.
Really a veteran guy. How big is he going to be just overall?
Huge.
leadership?
Yeah, you know, Meridian, Mississippi. That's what Southern Miss wins with, is guys from places like that. Meridian's a football town, always has been. Santrell loves it. I think what Santrell will tell you is, again, there's another situation where linebacker, we got a lot of returning talent, and then you bring a guy like Dalen Gill into the room. So, like, man, you got Hayes Bateman, Swayze Bozeman, Santrell Latham, TQ Newsome, Dalen Gill. Then you bring a guy like Drew Horton into the room, who led the Mississippi JUCOs in tackles. So just a lot of competition in every room, and that's what we got to get back to here at Southern Miss.
Coach, can you talk about the impact that having over 25 really oldies has on the spring?
Well, it's huge, right? I mean, one of the biggest downfall of what we had to go through last year is we were shorthanded. We played with 60-something scholarships. You know, as great of a football program as Taylorsville's been through the years, they're a 2A school and 1A now. If they had to play a 6A schedule, it would have been tougher on them. And that's kind of what we were. You know, we were a 2A school playing a 6A schedule. It is what it is. We're not that anymore. You know, getting these guys in here now, we instantly are back up into the 80s. And it is an influx of talent. But even if it wasn't an influx of talent, just having more bodies, all right? I mean, it's college football, man. You know what I mean? I've coached D2 for 14 years. We never had 60-something players on scholarship. We always had more than that at D2. So, you know, we're in a much more overall health and well-being as a program right now than we were this time last year.
Coach, could you just talk about maybe some of the adjustments from last year to this year, just health-wise in the weight room, so to speak?
No, man. I mean, we're just doing what we believe in what we do. You know, we believe in what we do. That our issue was not strength conditioning. Our issue was that it was the first year in the program doing what we do, coming off a COVID year and another year where we wasn't doing a lot. You know, and so we came in and we believe in what we do. We haven't changed. We haven't wavered. I've told everybody from the moment we got hired here, we got a great vision for this place. We've got a detailed plan to get it there. Just because a little adversity hits don't mean you change, and you're always examining and looking for a better way, but we believe in the core values and fundamentals that we're putting in place in this program.
Coach, I have to ask,